What's going on, everybody? This is your host, Jay, and thank you guys so much for watching another episode of Our Man's Night right here in our studios from Inside Out. Thank you guys so much for being here. I do very much appreciate it. And as always, we have an interesting show for you guys tonight, as I try to do and change things up a little bit. But, we're going to do things a little different tonight. Usually we talk about some kind of negative thing and whatnot, but tonight we're going to do something a little bit more positive for a change. Yep, and unfortunately, it's one of those things that when we do have a chance to talk about something positive, it's far in between. But when the opportunity arises, we're going to go ahead and jump on that as much as possible. But anyways, go ahead and update you guys real quick what's going on before we get into the meat and potatoes or the juicy facts of this podcast here tonight. Unfortunately, I wanted to update you guys on what's going to happen here in the future. Some things are working behind the scenes that I have Tammy working on. And I also have something that I have not addressed to any of you guys that I'm working on behind the scenes. Matter of fact, I got two things going on right now. First things first, my wife has somebody that she works with that is, or was, I don't know if she still is, was a nurse at one of the prisons that she used to work at. Believe it or not, I am working on the details to try to get her up on this podcast to talk about what she saw, what she dealt with, what her experiences and all that when she was was a nurse inside of one of those prisons. I don't have the full details of what prison she used to work with. But believe it or not, once I get it all detailed out and figured out when and if I can get her up on the show, I will keep you guys updated on that as we go along. Before we go any further, let's go ahead and give a major shout out and hi to Texas Mom. How you doing? Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you too, as always. Thank you so much for being here. Again, if you haven't, please do share this with everybody else so they can watch this and get educated on it too for tonight's podcast anyways. And of course, Tammy's in here too. Also, she said, hi, everyone. Thank you so much, Tammy, for being here. I don't know, Tammy, if you were going to be in here on the live itself, but if not, it's okay. I get it. It's no big deal. I can do this one way or another with or without you being here. So let me know if you want to come in here. The link is in the top portion of the chat. Just hit that and come on in. And then before we go any further, Texas Mom says, hey, loves. Yep, absolutely. And of course, Tammy gets in here and says, love, light, and love and light, everyone. Absolutely. Okay, I will take care of that, Tammy. I don't know why it doesn't pop up, but I'll re-put it up here anyways. So stand by for that, Tammy. Just a second. I will do that right now. All right, let me get this. Come on, computer. Don't be like that tonight, please. All right. All right, there it is. It's in the chat. Let me know if you see it and come on up if you can, please. Hey, Curtis, what's going on, man? I'm glad you're here. How you doing? Thank you so much for being here, and I hope you're doing good over there in Kansas where you're living at. Thanks for being here, my friend. I appreciate you. All right, so before we go any further, that was update number one. And, of course, update number two is that me and Tammy are trying to get certain individuals up on this podcast to do shows and all of that. With that being said, I guess you'll hear it from the horse's mouth. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our co-host, Tammy, to the show. Welcome, Tammy. How you doing?
Doing good. How are you?
Oh, we made it to another Friday. Yay!
That's all I'm just glad to say right now.
Yeah, I'm just glad to put this whole entire stressful week behind me and start fresh on a Monday. But thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. How you doing?
Hanging in there. I don't know. TDCJ, I am so like, this is a positive podcast, but I'm telling you, if it's one battle, it's another. That whole grievance situation.
Correct.
They completely lied to Rick, told him that it wasn't any big deal. It was just he never got a lay-in slip. He was in that overflow. He was in that on a G4 wing, which is they have to come let him out and stuff like that. He never got the lay-in slip. They wrote him up saying he missed a medical appointment.
Well,
And then they call him in the office and they tell him that it's just a verbal warning. And then when he applied to live in the faith-based dorms, he finds out from the chaplain that it was a minor case written up on him. Like, they lied to him directly. I talked to the warden secretary, and then it went from being a very nice conversation to, well, that's what they say. And at the beginning of the conversation, oh, the captains, neither, there's only two captains at this whole unit. Oh, the
what?
captains say they didn't even talk to him. And then I said, no, he talked to Captain such and such. And I named the captain. And she's like, well, let me look at his file. And then she looks at it and she's like, oh, yeah, there is a minor case, but it's not a big deal, blah, blah, blah. It is a big deal because it's on his record and somebody lied. Not just once, but 2 or 3 times now because they lied to him. They didn't tell him that that was a minor case.
What in the
So now
world?
I gotta call Huntsville probably and raise Cain over it so he can go live in the faith-based dorm where he wants to be to do good and spread the word of God. I mean, like, what the hell? What is wrong with these people? Tell me what is wrong with
Gosh.
them. Why do they? Because it all comes down to this. This is why he got wrote up. I'm going to tell you right now. I can bet every bit of money that I make on it, which isn't much, guys, but it's something. You know, it comes down to a CO didn't put a lay-in slip, give it to him. And so instead of being honest and saying to his superiors, his or her, because it could have been male or female CO, saying, you know what, he got shuffled, he got moved down the wing, but he was still on there, but in a different cell. So I missed him and didn't give him the lay-in slip. But they'd rather cover their ass, let him get written up, knowing full well they lied. But yet they're the ones supposed to be in charge over there of people.
What?
See how they screw up their lives? So one simple little thing is being dishonest. Sorry, I'm just really pissed about
No,
it
I'm not mad
because
at you. I just,
it's so frustrating.
yeah, that's an understatement. Um, and again, that's again what you just said there to kind of touch base on a little bit more what you said. That's why I can't stress enough, even though there's proof right there. What you just said, my friend Tammy, is that the grievance system needs to be exhausted and exhausted and exhausted and used and used and used. But then yet you just said the grievance system is a joke too. And I mean,
Yes, he's written
I'm on
everybody.
I'm on both sides of the fence in that damn thing because I'm trying to educate and teach people you cannot skip out on doing anything when it comes to that grievance system, but you
But
got to
then
use
they
it. But then when you
lie.
don't, yeah,
They
yeah,
don't
I know,
answer the
I know.
I-60s. They don't answer any of the stuff. Okay, in Texas, when you have a problem, you put in an I-60 to speak with
Mhm.
so and so. I got told today that he's not allowed to talk to the unit grievance investigator, the person that's investigating the grievance. He's not
What?
allowed to. But in the handbook, it says they can. So which is it? Your bullshit or the handbook? Which do we follow? That's the first thing. Second thing, he put in one to the captain, one into a type of woman that's supposed to
Yeah.
handle the stuff that's a liaison. And then he put in one to the warden. He spoke to the major. And you know what? The only person that's talked to him is a major. But the major still hasn't done the follow up yet. And I don't know why. I don't know what's going on there. And I called the chaplain and talked to him too. And I said, look, you're preaching for them to be honest and live by God. He told the truth and he's being punished because somebody else is lying. And
Good
nobody will do
Lord.
their due diligence to investigate.
Wow.
So to me, I don't think the grievances system is null and void to me because they're not going to do anything. I mean, I
Yeah.
was told today he couldn't talk to the warden. That's what the warden secretary told me today, that he could not talk to the
Oh,
warden.
hell no, you can.
Oh, absolutely. I know that and you know that. But then it's just like what will happen if I raise so much Cain, then he'll get thrown off to another unit that's going to be much worse on
Retaliation.
him.
Retaliation. Yeah.
Retaliation, here we go. So I just told him to hang in there and try and catch the major this weekend and talk to him and get some follow up
Yeah.
from him. I
Well,
said, if nothing else, I'll call the board major Monday.
well, again, and Not to sound like a broken record, Tammy. Love and respect you, but man, oh man, it's proof in the pudding that the corruption when it comes to the bullshit, and that's just Texas for crying out loud. This goes on all states,
No, it's
guys.
every state
It's
in the
everywhere, and I'm
union.
not saying what you're doing is wrong, but oh my God, there's this proof in the pudding right there from Tammy's own mouth, ladies and gentlemen, that you can't even get the staff or the COs or anybody that's working in there to follow their own damn policies. You see what I'm saying? I feel like I'm beating a dead horse. I can sit here like you, Tammy, and get up on these shows and and preach the good preach, but it feels like I'm just, it's like,
And
what
it's
the
with
hell?
every charge, guys. I just want to let y'all know it's not one charge over another or this person or one color or one this or not. Once they're in that system, that's it. And then we got a letter today that the county's going to take out money out of his commissary for court fees. But
Yeah.
according to the plea deal, he wasn't supposed to have any.
Hi,
So what
Cynthia.
is it? Here we go
Yeah,
again.
right. Absolutely. It's a runaround. It's an
I
absolute runaround, and you run around literally with your chicken with like your head cut off. But anyways, welcome in, Cynthia. Thank you so much for being here, man.
It just, you can't win sometimes and it's frustrating.
Yeah, I agree. And wow. Well, anyways, thank you, Tammy, for sharing that update, even though it wasn't good news update. um, I'm, I'm really sorry that's happening, but you got to keep me updated on what happens next, what you're going to do with the situation. But just know I'm here to help.
That's what I'm going to do. I
All
have
right.
no choice because he's not going to let it go. Rick is
All right.
not going to let it go.
Right. Well, my question I have for you now, not to switch gears here deliberately because I do care, but we got to move on to the topic here for tonight. But what do you think about this topic that we're talking about tonight? What's your take on that? Because I want to hear your insight on that.
Okay, so Texas Mom is the one that posted it in her
Yay! Thank you, Texas Mom, for this. Please, thank you so much. Yes.
posted the story in her advocacy group that's on Facebook online. Please, Tanya, Texas Mom, will you put the link to your group in the
Yeah.
chat?
Yeah,
And
and I
listen,
believe.
it doesn't matter if you're in Texas. There's always a lot of useful information that goes around.
Yeah, it can be countrywide. It helps us. It helps everybody.
So
So yeah, absolutely.
my topic on this, okay, so it's they're doing incentivized housing or prisons. So this is going to be the first one in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
But what they did is they did it in a couple of units.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, they had an area. It was more lower scale than what they're doing in this new prison.
Mm-hmm.
But they did some like experimental ones and some wings on on different prisons, just a few of them. And
Okay.
it's basically good behavior gets good things
Mm-hmm.
type of things, and it's more of a home setting environment. One of the units has that they did the experiment in. It had a sofa. It had murals painted on the wall, like sea life. It was beautiful, done by the inmates. And then it had a sofa with a game system with a big TV that they can sit there and play video games. It
Wow.
had different little amenities, a microwave, a dining room table that seats like 6 or 8.
There's a group page
More
right
of a
there on
home.
the in the chat. Sorry, Tammy. There's the group page. Thank you, Texas Mom, for sharing that. I appreciate that. If you guys have Facebook, go over there and check it out. Thank
Yeah.
you for sharing that.
So anyway, they yes, thank you for sharing that. So yeah, they just did some trial runs, and I guess they were getting good. Imagine that, like they're trying to bring humanity back into the prisons.
Mm-hmm.
My thing is, I love it. I love the idea of it, but like, I don't know. How are you going to get these old school people that have that mentality of the way prison is now, the bullies, essay, or the ones that do crappy shit? How are we going to get them on board with this new stuff? That's
Right.
where the gap is going to be in place, because on one hand they're doing one thing and on another hand they're doing another.
Right.
But I'd like us to do it and kind of get into it because I found another post about it after the fact, I believe, or maybe I did post it to you. I may have. But it
Okay.
talks about the different pillars of the program, pillars of something. I don't know. We'll have to
Okay.
look if it's.
Well, I think what I'll do is start off is showing the Article 1 that you said that you gave me, and then I'll do Article 2 and whatever else we got to share.
Yeah, and I
Um,
think Article 1 may have, like, let me look real quick. I think it has a video.
mhm.
Um, Texas Mom, I don't know how you feel or if you'd want to come up and talk about it. You're welcome to. You don't have to
Yeah, I
show your
mean,
face or anything.
yeah. Let me
So,
ask Texas Mom real quick again. I know she heard you, but I'm going to say it too, if I may. Texas Mom, did you want to come up on the panel tonight and be a part of this podcast for tonight? You're more than welcome to. This is a safe spot. You don't have to show your face. You can do like what Tammy's doing right there. Again, this is a safe place to be, and you can talk about whatever is on your mind. The link is there. If you want me to send it again, just so you can see it at the bottom, I can do that real quick. If you want to come up, please do. You're invited nonetheless. And that goes for everybody that wants to come up here. So I think what I'll do just for shits and giggles, I will send the link to this stream right now tonight for any of you, not just Texas Mom, any
no,
of you to,
anybody. Yeah,
yeah, just,
absolutely.
just to come up and have a chit chat with us tonight when it comes to this. There's the link, guys. And we can go from there. And I greatly appreciate it if you all want to. But again, no obligation, no pressure to come up. So again, keep in mind, this podcast is not just mine, it's all of ours. So with that said, let's go ahead and go ahead and get into the topic tonight. I wasn't sure, Tammy, if you wanted to read this stuff off tonight, or did you
Well, we
want me
may
to?
not even have to read it. Once you get it pulled up, there's a video, like a news clipping from it.
That's right. That is
This
correct. I forgot
came
about that.
from News 10.
No, is it this one? This is the wrong one. It's right here.
That one. There you go. Yep, that's
Okay.
perfect.
So before I start this, I always have to say, guys, to make sure that they know that they're taking the credit for this content and this information. I'm not. So before we get started, this is coming from KWTX. This is, I believe, a news station, right, Tammy? News station.
Yes, a news station in Bartlett, Texas.
Okay. And again, all credit, if you will, goes to these guys here tonight. So let's go ahead and play the video. But before I do, I got to get out of this again because I think somebody just came into the chat, and it looks like it's Curtis. Stand by, Curtis.
Yeah, from here.
Hey, Curtis, how you doing, my friend?
Oh, I'm kicking right now. Not always the best, but I'm alive. I'm here.
Hey, that's a plus. So am I, and so is Tammy, and so is everybody else.
That's
So
half the battle.
it's half the
Our
battle.
feet
Yeah.
on the ground every morning. Hi, Curtis.
Just trying to, focus on what I need to be doing in order to, I guess you'd say, to focus on researching what topics that affect me the most for change and what would make my life easier. Plus, I'd like to have all my rights back and should. I think all of us should.
Yeah, I agree.
It starts with our
Um,
laws, and it starts with finding.
The only time that you get your loss of that's when you're incarcerated. And unfortunately on paper as well, because, they just got to have that control of us.
Yeah. Stand by, Curtis. 1 second. I got to tell Tammy something. Stand by, Curtis.
Yeah.
Tammy, I don't know if you can hear me. Curtis has a hard time hearing. He has hearing aids in. So just let you know.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So, what I was saying, Curtis, is that one of the places you can start is with your local area senators and representatives. There are we have some here in Texas that are wanting to change laws and reformative justice and things like that. There are certain individuals within our congressional area. Now, Curtis, were you a veteran? Is that correct?
He was.
Okay.
Yeah.
I hope you can hear me. So I would recommend also looking for those avenues because there are groups starting to develop for veterans specifically that have been through similar situations as yours. I will see if I can research out and get them to you through Jay because that would be an immense support to you.
There's a time delay, Tammy.
I don't
There's
know
a
if it. Yes, I think so.
there's a major time delay.
Yeah, I think we're having
now.
issues tonight. I would recommend also looking for those avenues because there are groups starting to
I think he's watching it on a. Hold on a second. I'm gonna.
through similar situations as yours.
We got Texas Mom in here. How you doing, Texas Mom? I took Curtis out just for a second. Curtis, I know you can hear me, but I put you back in the green room. Texas Mom, can you hear me? I'm having no sound coming out of your microphone or your device that you're using. I don't know what's going on with that. So Texas Mom, you might have to reload or reboot to try to come back in. Check your settings and go from there. Sorry, Texas Mom. Come back in if you can.
Okay.
Curtis, can you stand by for a second? I'll get you back in here.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Okay. Stand by. I'm going to put you back in the green room. I want to get my presentation done. Okay. All right. Sorry about that, Tammy. There's a time that
sometimes it's just everything's been wonky with the internet lately. Period.
Yeah. Well, and like I said, he's an older gentleman. I got a lot of respect for him, but he has hearing problems. All right, let's move on with what's going on with that. Let me go ahead and get the share screen going. I respect and love every one of you guys. I do apologize on that. Tin Man's in here. What's up, Tin Man? Thank you so much for being here. Let me go ahead and get the video going here now and share this. Again, guys, if you just tuned in, all credit goes to KWTX over there. This is a news station. I don't take any of it. Here's the video. Pay attention to it. I believe this is very crucial, important information. Here it is. If it will play.
Waco is growing, and the Heart of Texas Fair and Rodeo, presented by ATV, is growing with it. Mark your calendars for Thursday, October 3rd through
Sorry for the ads.
13th. For ticket information and to see a full list of events, visit hotfair.com. We'll see you there.
Criminal Justice is preparing to reopen a Central Texas prison facility which has been closed for nearly 7 years. The Bartlett Unit will be the first innovation prison facility in the state of Texas. News 10's Ali Cadlabar takes us inside the unit, which could provide second chances to the inmates and to the city.
You can see these red dots popping up behind me. That's nearly 100 TDCJ correctional facilities, ranging from minimum to maximum security. Now, this orange dot that you see right there, that's the Bartlett Unit. The department is reopening the former state jail as the state's first innovation unit. With that, TDCJ is aiming to prepare these inmates for the workforce right after they are released. But this prison is just hundreds of feet away from Bartlett residents and just a mile away from downtown. City officials are hoping the reopened facility will actually spark much needed improvements with its water system and economy. Meanwhile, residents and business owners, they tell me they're anxious to see it open for positive and negative reasons. Renovations are underway at the Bartlett Unit. But outside the fence, silence. Mostly vacant storefronts and light traffic. While inmates inside the prison facility are working to get their second chance.
Our population will release with some type of license or certification.
Bartlett residents and business owners are hoping the facility reopening will bring a second chance to their once bustling community.
And it would bring extra people into town. Stores were opened, and then the jail kind of disappeared, and people slowly things started closing.
The TDCJ says the facility opened as a private-owned state jail in the 90s.
So I was working part-time at Running White back then, and all the prison helpers and stuff would come get lunches and stuff.
The state closed the jail nearly 7 years ago.
The unit closed whenever we were having a population decrease.
Director of Communication Amanda Hernandez says during the pandemic, there was also a decline of cases moving through the court system. But recently, the cases are increasing again post-pandemic.
Now that that's starting to ramp back up, that's why we're starting to see our population increase.
This causing the TDCJ to reopen the unit, accommodating for the increasing number of inmates. However, the department is using this as an opportunity to start its statewide transition to opening innovation units. It's a part of the agency's reentry pillar of its 2030 plan.
And one of those goals being that 95% of our inmates before they release will have a job.
The Bartlett unit will be the first fully innovative facility in the state, housing around 1,000 minimum custody inmates. The agency plans to prepare inmates to enter the workforce as soon as they are released.
What we want to do is make sure that we have all the programs that we need to help the incarcerated population return to the public.
During inmates' time at the Bartlett unit, Larson says they will learn how to build a resume, get certifications and licenses, and leave with a job offer on the table.
It's important to make sure that they have the skill, workforce skills, education, training that they need, that when they get out, that they can become productive members of society.
A recent report by the Texas Department of Criminal Justice says about 15% of inmates return to prison within 3 years of being released. This innovation unit is hoping to change that.
We want to make sure that we're doing everything that we can for the incarcerated individuals to help them be successful upon release and not return. We're bringing humanity back into the prison.
While the agency says they have good intentions for inmates, some residents are unsure about living next to a prison facility again.
It remains to be seen whether I like that or not. We'd like to see some benefit from it.
City of Bartlett Mayor Chad Meese says residents will see some benefits from it, especially with its water system.
They've come in, they've done a lot of infrastructure repairs to water and wastewater. Anything we do on those lines and lift station will greatly benefit the citizens of Bartlett.
Economically, the facility is already helping by offering hundreds of new jobs.
They've come into town and created 300 jobs basically overnight. And so it's a very good thing for the city.
And many residents I spoke with hope more people in the city will bring new life into Bartlett's historic downtown.
Maybe it'll bring businesses and people will try to fix up Bartlett a little bit, because they have really gone down a lot.
In terms of safety.
But the safety aspect, is that a concern for you?
Not at all.
Well, I do feel safe, but there could be some improvement here in Bartlett. There's poor lighting at night. I don't see police officers patrol at night. I don't feel any less safe because of the prison.
Right now, the unit is almost ready to open, and people both on the inside and outside are looking forward to the future, looking forward to hopefully getting some second chances.
We're excited to have it here. Obviously, not every community wants a prison in their community, but I have to look at job creation and revenue creation for the city. This is just a real blessing that they came in the way they have to help us out.
Now, TDCJ tells me the Bartlett unit will start housing residents next month while it works to hire more correctional officers throughout Central Texas. Reporting in studio, Ali Calabar, KWTX News 10.
And there you guys go. Tammy and everybody in the chat, what do you guys think about what you just saw there?
Well, I wish it went into more detail of what it's actually doing, because I think some people in the chat have it a little bit misconstrued, but they're actually putting couches, shower curtains, making it more of a home environment. And it's for inmates that are already incarcerated. They're not increasing the inmate population. What they're trying to do is bring some humanity back in. As I was reading their goals into 2030, they're going to try and start adapting this to prisons, unit by unit by unit, and go through and do this to the point of, Yes, it's slave labor. I get it. I get those things. I feel that for my husband that's incarcerated that works for free too. Who's a veteran, who's gone through as much hell as all of you. I get it. He's in the same boat y'all are in when he comes out. It's not, any different. My point is what they have now, any change that's positive, I'm gonna be on the side and a fan of that, because some positive changes headed the right direction from what we are at right now.
Right.
The abuses and the atrocities that go on every day in some of the
Right.
units, in a lot of the units.
Right.
So if they really instill this, it'll be a wonderful thing for the communities, for the inmates themselves to come out and actually have a dang job that's already there, that they really are employed. They're not out
Yeah.
looking.
Yeah, no, and I agree with what you're saying. Absolutely. I mean, sometimes in certain circumstances, we need this for building communities and making things and getting rid of the fear mongering bull crap. Because like people do say people do say sometimes, and they come across me with it all the time. Oh, you want a prison in your neighborhood? Well, it depends. The answer to that, it depends.
Well, let me put it this way: an inmate comes back out into the community, correct? No matter what, they're coming back out. Unless they're a lifer or they're on death row, they're coming back out into our community.
Yeah, eventually. Yeah.
So there's no difference than where they're incarcerated or they're out and about. If we give people the right skills and we help them, then we can actually get somewhere. If we don't help them come back out, then what are we doing?
Correct.
Then you should be scared because they haven't gotten the help that they needed.
Stigmatizing people.
And then you have some people that are innocent that are
Right.
in there, and it changes them after being. Curtis, did it change you? Your mindset?
Yeah, Curtis, what's your mindset on that? What did it change you?
Well, I don't look at life the same way as I used to.
Exactly.
I used to feel like that the truth was the truth. It set you free. Well, they've kind of seems like they've kind of narrated the truth of what it is, what it isn't, rather than just the truth. And if you follow the money and everything that goes on in the government, we're paying all these politicians up there to do what they're doing, including people in Congress to pass whatever laws they feel like passing to make people happy in the community. They think.
Correct.
So they live off that fear mongering, but they're also making money at it. And we need to put a stop to that crap in this country, because that's part of the problem.
Correct.
They want to get rid of Social Security. They want to get rid of this. They want to get rid of that. And then they want to give all that to the illegal aliens on the far left. The far right, they just want to make examples of everybody that they can make an example of. Well, you did such and such, so now you're on this. You have to, right now, I can't get off early. Kansas is not allowing anything for getting off early, unless your offense was drug related or a violent one.
Right. Wow.
So you walked over and beat somebody up, or you shot somebody in the leg or arm, and they lived, you still aren't stigmatized all that bad. They let you go, and after 15 years, you're off. If you can demonstrate you can stay out of trouble.
Yeah, there's always a catch, isn't there?
I can't get off early. I originally was sentenced to 10 years on the registry when I was sentenced. I never admitted guilt to it. I just accepted the sentence. And I've done the time. And I'm still doing the time. Just on the outside.
Yep.
Don't that bite?
That's a sucky thing, isn't it? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Don't that bite, Jay?
Yeah, it does. It does. Tammy? Can you hear me, Tammy?
Yes, I can. I had put myself on mute to not cause interference. But
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
what I was saying is that, it does suck that once a person has served a sentence, this is what I tell them. Like, even when I've called up to the prison, I'm like, what somebody is on paper and what really went down with their case and what really happened and all the details, the prison system has no idea. They just see this individual as a number, and their whatever's written down on the paperwork is how they judge them, just like the inmates do. And it sucks because you don't know how many people are innocent that are in there that took plea deals just because what they were offered on the flip side of things, having to use a public pretender. I don't care. Most of them are public pretender who was not defending them, and they were going to get hemmed up for a lot more time. So they took it to have some kind of life out there after they get out, and they get out and they have no future because they're
Right.
being punished again and hounded.
Right.
It really needs to stop because it's causing more damage than it is good for our communities.
Well, believe it or not, Tammy, I don't know if a lot of you may or may not know this, but a lot of you don't realize that that this ongoing 24/7, 24-hour punishment, it's actually they're finding slowly but surely they're finding that it's not actually doing a bit of good at all. Period. So they're starting to realize
Texas
that.
mom says
They're
she
starting
can't
to
get
realize.
unblocked. Sorry.
I can't get unblocked. Stand by, Curtis, 1 second, please. Why is she blocked? That is weird. I didn't block you. Texas mom, are you getting a message when you try to apply? Are you getting a message stating that you're blocked and can't come in now? You might have pushed something. I don't think there's anything I can do on my end. What I'll do is I'll resend it. Texas mom, I'm sorry this is happening for you. To you, excuse me, my bad. I'll resend the link, see if that works.
And like Cynthia said, just go completely out of the podcast and the restream, and come back in and try and go up to the restream again and click on the link. I've had to do that to like completely reset to come in.
She said she accidentally blocked her microphone and camera.
Well, so leave the restream completely and then come back in. And when you do, it'll ask you if you want to allow it or not allow it when you come back into the restream. You have to leave it completely for that to reset.
Or and Timman just said it's the browser. It could be the browser that she's using. Certain browsers only allow it to work and not work, which is weird. I don't understand that. Okay, so what we're gonna do for you is, I'm sorry. I lost the comment. Timman said this can't use DuckDuckGo. Have to use Safari. Okay. What do I use?
There's Google, Safari, and
I use Firefox.
And Firefox. Yeah, there's only a few.
All right. We still got plenty of time. So Texas mom, if you can hear me, I hope you can anyways, shut down your whole thing, reboot, and try to come back in again and see if that unblocks you. If not, it's going to be in your settings and you're going to have to unblock yourself. I don't have it here. It can't be on my end. Sorry for that, Texas mom. It's always something, isn't it? Looks like Curtis left for some reason. I'm not sure why.
I don't know if his thing fell or whatever.
We're having weather. We're having rain here, so I think that might have something to do with it. But go ahead, Tammy. You're going to say something. Go ahead.
I was going to say, and then I sent you the second article to kind of show the vision of where they're going with all of this. Yeah.
Let's go ahead and get that pulled up.
Some of it I was like, okay, I love, and some of it I'm like, I don't know.
I'm right there with you. Let's go ahead and get that pulled up.
Okay. So they're calling this Pillars of Impact So their first part of it is all this, how they like all this talk about their history, the Texas, blah 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 blah. So I kind of like went, yeah, whatever. They say they're the leader in corrections. I'm not so. Yeah, maybe in some things, but no.
Right. Did you want me to start at the beginning here, or are you just going to go down to where it says pillars of impact?
Yeah, I was gonna do pillars of impact to kind of go into it, but
Okay.
and I can read it if you want me to, or you can, whichever.
Go ahead. The floor is yours.
The 2030 vision consists of 7 pillars of impact that will help us transform lives for a better Texas and protect our great state. These pillars are the blueprint of the future, helping us achieve real life outcomes and charting tangible impact. By investing in all 7 pillars, the TDCJ can and will achieve more in the decade ahead. The 2030 vision looks at the agency as a whole and establishes vision as starting as a starting point for future planning and policy work. In that way, this plan is a beginning and seeks to reframe conversations about where we collectively want to go as we move into 2023. So their first pillar is about public safety. I'm just going to kind of briefly go over them. And
Okay.
they talk
You're good.
about, as part of their mission, public safety is part of their mission. We firmly believe that our responsibility to protect those in our custody, our staff, and the citizens.
Mm-hmm.
So they're trying to transform their ideas on that. And then
Okay.
they go in, their next pillar is their workforce, and what they're doing different things for their uniforms. They're investing in body cameras. So they're starting to, seems like I've been seeing a lot more COs get arrested and things like that as well. So it
Okay.
seems like they're going through, like the unit that Rick's at, I have seen them do a lot of shakedowns. I think they're trying to find out who's bringing in the K2 and stuff like that. So,
Mm-hmm.
and then go ahead if you want to read Cynthia's. She did
Yeah.
share it with me too.
Yeah. Cynthia got in the chat and said this one has a whole lot more information than the one I shared with Tammy personally. I think it's a great idea. Finally, some rehabilitation. Absolutely. Let's go ahead and bring Curtis back in here. He came back in. Welcome back, Curtis. How you doing? How you doing, Curtis?
Oh, it's a going. No, I
Yeah.
thought I'd give somebody else an opportunity for a few minutes to, come in if they wanted, and
Yeah. No, I appreciate
but
that. She was having technical issues, so she couldn't come in.
yeah, and I didn't know if I was part of the cause or not, so
No, you're good, my
I just
friend.
wanted to see if I could get back in all right. And it seems like I'm not having any issues,
It could be on my end.
so I don't know. I've got pretty good Wi-Fi here.
Yeah. Well,
That's a good thing.
I'm storming where we're at, so when we have storms here at the house, it causes internet connection issues. Just so you know.
Well, we kind of got the same thing here because the service for cell phones ain't the greatest either, but
No.
with the
No.
Wi-Fi, it helps a lot with anything online.
Well, what you don't realize, my friend, is that the internet that I use here is off cell phone towers. I use T-Mobile's internet, $50 a month service that they have here, and it's
Oh,
not.
okay.
And yeah, and if the
Okay.
cell towers are backed up, this is what you get for my feed tonight.
Yeah, we got a different source for our internet here.
See,
Mom's paying quite a bit of money.
I'm
She's
trying to
got a
show you.
2.4, and I think she's got a
This
5.
is this is my internet right here, guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
ours is in. I've got a new phone through. I don't know if you heard of the company Affinity
yep,
Cellular.
yep,
They're supposed
yeah.
to be conservative, but when I go in my bedroom at night, that phone won't stay connected to the internet in the house. I don't know why. It says it's got stronger signal than the one I'm on now. But as far as the antenna and everything on it, but
Right.
it won't. The other phone won't stay on Wi-Fi if I go in my bedroom. But this one will. So I take it in with me in bed at night.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I got more things on this than here, anyways. I've got my baking and more of my important stuff on it, but
yeah,
that I use the most. The other one just to kind of help me with aiding in my searching and looking for things I want to look for. Or my research, and I've got a tablet too, so I order Walmart on that, and I buy things online with the tablet.
Nothing wrong with that.
No.
All right.
No.
All right. Well, we're getting pretty close to the top of the hour. I don't really have anything else going on when it comes to the topic tonight, except for what we shared. If you guys have any comments, questions, concerns, go ahead and put it in here now. Otherwise, you can email me right now, voicesfrominsideout@gmail.com, and you can put your concerns, comments, questions in an email if this thing on here isn't your thing.
Well, I've got a question for Tammy. She's in Texas, right?
Yeah, she lives in Texas. Go ahead.
Unfortunately.
Honestly, really, what's the concise legality as far as with laws down there in Texas right now? Is there a mutual understanding that there's people wanting to try to make some changes in some of the laws we've got in this country, or
we have
or
a
what?
few senators and representatives that are on the side of the fence in the fight to do away with certain things. We had a bill that didn't make it even to the floor for, I call it the hearsay law, but that's not actually correct. It's more of the false accusations charges, where you can say somebody did something, and now they've even extended that law out to starting September 1st. If you are dating somebody in Texas, be forewarned. I'm going to tell every one of you this out there. Please spread the word. Please go look at the laws that passed in Texas. For some reason, they had this bright idea that if you are dating someone and there's what one party or the other considers emotional abuse, you can
So
now be
basically,
charged
what
with
they're
that
trying to do
crime.
is prevent people like me from having a dating life.
Well, anybody actually.
Online,
I mean,
especially.
Texas is pretty terrible. I mean, as far as their laws go, they have some pretty trumped up, crazy stuff. Now, on the other side of the fence, there is a bill, and we're going to keep putting it up and keep putting it up and keep pushing it to do away with people actually getting charged with crimes or going to even court without having some kind of definitive proof. We're talking DNA, video footage, photographs, some kind of definitive thing that they were actually doing something to break the law, not just
Yeah.
some hearsay crap. Oh, I
Yeah.
saw you do it, so therefore you did it. Or, you know, you did this to me because I'm mad at you, so I'm going to lie about you and get you trumped up on a bunch of crap.
Oh, yeah,
You know, they're
yeah.
trying to
I
do
know.
away with it, but we got to get other people on board. I think half of our battle, Curtis, honestly, with any and all laws, is just getting people to understand that we're all only one step away from being incarcerated at any given time in our life,
Well,
because our
I
system is
really think
broken.
you're correct on that, Tammy. And that
Well,
goes for
thank you.
any state.
Yes.
That goes for every state in this country.
Yes.
Yep.
I
Not
agree.
just where you're at, but even up
Everywhere.
where I'm at.
Yep. I agree.
You know, so I know that they're continually pushing the same things that they did to get me arrested and incarcerated, they're doing down in Florida, in South Florida. as
Well,
far as
we
I'm
need to get
concerned,
rid of some things like qualified immunity, like what we talked about on the show the other night.
yeah.
We
When's
need to
yeah,
put pen to paper, and we need to be writing our senators right now and pushing that one to get abolished. It starts with
Yeah.
one thing, and then we can trump another thing, and then another, and then another, and that's what we have to do. Because the only way to beat this kind of thing is to get them to change the laws.
correct.
Now, are you trying to communicate with people, Tammy, to try to get signatures of people?
Yes, I actually am trying to create a template for letters for people, and if they wanted to send them to me, because they don't want to send to Washington or don't know how to do that, they can send it to me or to Jay, and we can get them on over to our congressmen members. I'm trying to collect enough letters
Well,
and
I'll tell you
things
what,
like that going.
I could give you an email, and I'd like you to send me some of the some of the drawn up stuff that you're doing. Send me
Okay,
a little bit of pictures. Give me a really good idea how to format everything so I
like
can
a
start.
step-by-step guide type of thing, like a blueprint,
Yeah,
basically, of who to
yeah,
go to.
because
Okay,
I'm going to try to get
okay,
something started going here in Kansas.
absolutely. Yeah, got to create a
We got
movement,
we
and
got some
I
good
need to try and
conservative
find you a
people.
veteran.
Yeah,
I need to
Yeah.
find you a veterans group, Curtis, too. I think that would help
yeah.
you tremendously.
I'd have the veterans behind me, 110%. I'll tell you that straight up right now.
Yeah, because
Absolutely.
there's groups where there's been a lot of veterans that were false
Because I
accusations of
ran into a lot of
essays
veterans
that have gone
when
through
I
it.
was
Yes.
in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll get that to you. Go ahead, Jay. Sorry.
Oh no, I can listen to you guys for I love it. This is what builds a platform right here. This is what builds a communication. I love it. Love and respect you, Curtis, my friend. I really do.
I'm all right. I'm just trying to figure out in my head how to approach things and go about getting things from my mind to pen and paper,
Yeah.
so I can start trying to get a hold of people, trying to contact people that I can say, hey, I need signatures for this.
Yeah, absolutely. And with that being said, this is something I agree with 10 man. Tammy for president. Tammy for
Y'all think
president.
so till I get in there. I wouldn't last 10 minutes. You know that, right?
Well, no. You would no, Tammy, you would last because the way you are.
Well, God
You
better
would
get
last.
that
You
armor
probably
down
would be a
before
person that would
December.
really, besides Trump, you would definitely drain the swamp. You would definitely, absolutely, if you got in there. Yeah, absolutely. But thank you.
Oh,
I
God.
That's cool.
guarantee I'd drain the swamp, that's for sure.
Tammy, I think Curtis and Tammy would make one heck of a president. I think Tin Man would make one heck of a president. Everybody in the chat I would make one hell of a president. To be honest with you, but that's just me.
I'd drain those leftists real quick.
Yeah,
I'm just
absolutely.
ready
I'd
to
have
see
them all
people act like
investigated.
human beings again.
I,
That's my
I,
problem.
I just want true justice, not just us. I want justice. Justice,
What is
fair justice.
justice?
Well,
What
want
is
fair
justice?
laws,
Please.
constitutional laws.
Yeah,
Yeah.
define
We
that.
live in a constitutional republic,
Yeah,
a
absolutely.
democratic republic, not a democracy. That's where
Yeah,
the left has got it wrong.
yeah. And then Tim Man said this. She has a spine. Yeah, and a brain stem and everything else too. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. We got some good people in here, and I love every one of you guys. I want you to know that I love and respect every one of you guys. This whole thing, this podcast itself by itself wouldn't even exist if it wasn't for people like you, because you guys get it. You're been there, done that. I'm there. I'm walking, talking proof of it. We're sick of it. We're sick of the injustices, and it's time to clean up the plate, or
Yeah.
shit, or get off the pot, as I like to say it. Shit or get off the pot. That's how I look at it.
Everybody's got to do that.
Yeah.
Everybody's full of crap at some point in time.
Yeah, and it's starting to stink.
But when you're full of it all the time, that's bad.
Yeah, no comment. No comment.
Well, even Ranger side on that one.
Yeah. I'll just.
The dog is dying and going. Yeah, okay. Same thing.
I think those politicians are full of it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
most of them.
Yeah, and Chris, I got a question for you real quick. I'm going to bounce out of here, but do you have anything in closing arguments that you want to say before we bounce out of here? And thank you so much for being here.
Nah, that's pretty much about it.
All right, fair enough.
I appreciate you inviting me in and
absolutely
give me a chance to kind of speak my mind a little bit on some thoughts and ask some questions and
your family
try to get things figured out in my head how I want to start approaching things where I'm at. Besides, trying to assist my mom, I've got to start focusing on this stuff. I got to start trying to make some headway.
Look forward.
We all
to
got
future.
to.
Yeah. Well, your family.
You're do it state by state.
Sorry, Tammy.
Yeah.
Your family here, Curtis. Don't worry about it. Your family.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. All right, Tammy. Your closing arguments.
Oh, I just wanted to breeze over real quick. 2 minutes. Give me 2 minutes. I'll try. Anyway, in the rest of the pillars that we didn't finish, they were doing operational efficiencies as just to make their resources more and pave the way. There's 2 critical things that I thought were, 3 that were really good. They're going to be doing more in their technology and working with Securus and stuff to better their programs so that those tablets stay working more efficient.
Yeah, no shit.
Officers are actually getting tablets and things like that. Maybe it'll help with count and things like that a little more. Those kind of things, I won't get too much into that count business. But anyway, in health and wellness, one of the things they're going to do is start trying to bring in healthier menus. Like
absolutely.
Some vegetables.
That's about time.
That made my heart start patting because I was like, when you've got veterans in there and stuff that have been exposed to so many things, a lot of them have health issues and they need that. Oh, stop the hate. Yeah, definitely. They need that healthy food. Mm-hmm. Diabetics, things like that. And then the rehabilitation and re-entry. They're really seem like they're on kind of the path that they're hearing. Okay, if we did it this way, we'd stop getting so much pushback from families and communities.
Right.
So maybe, it's a start.
I agree.
That's all.
I agree. I agree. Well, back in my prison in Washington State, where I did my time at, before I did time in Washington, I should say, they had the garden program. I don't know if you know or are aware of that. They had an actual garden where they grew their own vegetables and all of that, and they ate what they grew right there in the prison. So the food was better. They need to bring that back. That's a good solution. They need to bring back
it like they have it in Texas, but they don't get to eat all of it. They sell it to
imagine that.
Communities and out.
Yeah, we couldn't eat all of ours either.
Yeah, see.
Yeah, but it's better food though than the state food. Right.
They should feed it to the prisoners that are growing
better than jail food.
And then whatever
is excess. It's gonna suck a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, all right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, again, I want to say thank you to Tammy. I want to say thank you and major shout out to Curtis and major shout out to Texas Mom and everybody else in the chat. Cynthia, Tin Man, everybody in the chat. Thank you guys so much for being here. I really do appreciate it, guys. You're all family here, and that's how I look at it. You guys are all family. This is a community, and we're going to get it stronger and bigger over time. But this is one thing that the haters can't stand, and I want to show this real quick on the camera. This is available on my merch store right now. Success is the best revenge. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and do just that right here for tonight's show anyways and show you that this is success. Success right here. People don't like seeing people like us become successful. If you want this shirt to show your success, it's available right now on my merch store. Go check it out. Go check it out. I just showed you guys it on the thing here earlier, and the link is in the chat. Go check it out, guys. All right? Because, again, your support shows all of what I can do when it comes to prison activists. All right? Well, Tammy, thank you so much for helping. I appreciate you as always. Kurt, thank you so much for being here. Much love and respect to you guys. With that being said, Curtis, man, love you, my man. All right, with that being said, I will see you guys on the next one. Good night, everybody. Good
Good
weekend.
night.